David Adventure Episode 2. The girl was surprised to see the teacher change all of a sudden. Surprisingly, she took a token of David, on which the identity of David was marked. She was thinking whether to say yes or no. Suddenly, the teacher held her hand and made a cut with a dagger. A drop of blood fell on the token and a spark came. The girl was shocked. The teacher had said that he would have to think. He does not care about name and money. Then why is he doing all the work in such a hurry? And the dagger was already ready. After a blood test, David breathed a sigh of relief and said, "From now on, you are my student." Then again, like a great artist, while acting, he said, "What is your name?" "Sir, my name is Roma." The girl saw that she could not step back. Then she nodded only in yes. "Take your token. By showing it, you will get a bed and books, and do not forget to arrange your accommodation. Your training will start from tomorrow. Meet me here tomorrow." David said this and pointed her to go from there. "Okay, sir?" Roma left saying this. "I have already made a student. Roma is his student." After confirming this, David breathed a sigh of relief and smiled. This was a very difficult task. If he had not learned acting and making up from the internet, then it would have been difficult to convince any student to take his class today. Now, because of one student, he will not be thrown out of the school at least. One problem was solved. David breathed a sigh of relief. David felt that his heart is getting lighter, as if a burden has been reduced. The next minute, he felt that his soul has found peace. His fear of not being able to become a student gradually reduced. Calm down. Now I am in your body. I will take good care of it, and I will live comfortably in your place. The previous David gave up his life because he could not convince the students to take his class. That's why he was sad even when he died. Now when a student has come to the class, his last regret has also gone. As soon as he left, David got complete control over this body. As soon as David got complete control over the body, he thought, why not give admission to some more students? But suddenly he got a shock in his mind, and the sounds of old bells started to be heard. Heaven and earth are very terrible. All are used like animals. The sun sets and the moon hides. Something strange is seen in the sky. Different sayings are being heard. David was very happy. Then a picture of a grand palace appeared in his mind. Some letters were shining in the light on it. It is the sanctuary of heaven. He opened the door and went inside. Countless minarets, book stands were standing high on them. All kinds of books, probably on every subject. If you stand on one side and look, you will not be able to find out where it started and where it ends. This is not a gift given to those who change bodies. Library. I have got a library. I was a librarian in my previous birth. This does not mean that I will not become a librarian in this birth as well. Others get old, ancient gadgets, and I don't know how many kinds of magical things as a gift. And I get a library? Just one library? What is the use of this? David's eyes were filled with darkness, and he thought he would faint and fall. Library? Why? It is not that when people will do martial arts and throw swords and spears at me, I will throw books at them. Well, at least see which books are there. Thinking this, David moved forward. In restlessness, David put his hand forward to pick up a book, so that he could find out why he was given a library. But instead of a book, he did not get anything. No matter how hard he tried, he could not pick up a book. Is this a game? Or some kind of trick? I was given a library, but I can't take any book, nor can I read anything. What do I want? David could not understand anything. What to do? What to say? He was about to cry, but he could not cry. After walking around a little, David realized that all the books kept in the library are just shadows, like the shadow of the moon in the water. You can see it, but it is impossible to touch or hold it. Then, due to being unable to do anything, his interest goes away and he comes back out of his mind to the world. Lunchtime is over. After lunch, I will think how to convince a few students to take my class. He looked out the window. It seems it is 12 o'clock. Out of the 18 students who came in the morning, only one has been able to become his student. His success rate is really very low. In the afternoon, work will not work in this way. Whatever happens, he will have to take more students. After all, he has come from an advanced world. If he could not fool the people of this old age, then how will he be able to raise his head and say that he has come from an advanced world where there is only knowledge? Taking a break, he left the class and went to the canteen. The canteen of this karate school, like the school of his previous birth, is also very big. So big that 10,000 people can sit in one bar and eat food. Now, being a student's teacher, his mood was also fine. So happily he bought some sweets and sat in a corner. The food was good in taste. When he was eating his food peacefully, he heard a voice. When he looked up, a man was looking at him and smiling. "Mark Knight, sir?" David asked. Mark Knight's full name was Mark. He started teaching in this school with David. He had a bad habit. He used to compare others with himself, and then he used to show them down and be happy. Old David could not tolerate his insult, so he committed suicide. This man has a big hand in David's death, because he put so much pressure on him. Today, new students have come to school for admission, to choose their teachers. How was your admission? And because you are eating here so happily, it won't be so bad. Look, these are my students who have come to my class today. There are 12 of them. I thought, why not feed them before going to their hostel? Mark said with pride and pointed towards those 12 students. Now there is no doubt. He has not come here without a reason. David and Mark had no mutual enmity. But because both had come to school at the same time, it was almost difficult to avoid his insult. That's why Mark used to show him down many times and try to get up himself. A group of children was following him. Everyone was happy and wanted to know about new things. "Children, this is David, sir. He is very famous in our school. He is the first teacher in our school to get 0 marks in teacher rank. He has registered his name in history." Mark, sir, told the children. 0 marks in annual teacher exam. Oh, I heard while coming to the canteen, one of his students had gone completely mad, and he was almost paralyzed. I also heard the same. When I was coming here, many people advised me that whatever happens, I should not listen to the teacher. Otherwise, learning is far away. On the contrary, it will be like wasting the remaining talent. It does not look like. Look at the face. How innocent it is. As soon as I heard this, there was a commotion in the canteen. Many things are checked in the annual teacher exam. One of them is the result of the children. If there are children in a teacher's class, then he gets some number. That's why getting 0 marks is like making history. Or is your speech over? Seeing the crowd of students, David is not worried at all. The one who got 0 marks was the old David. What do I have to do with him? Although he was not angry. Still, he did not like Mark Sir's words at all. He thought his way of making fun of others and looking good was very wrong. He shook his hand and said, "When you are done talking, then please leave from here. Do not put obstacles in my food." Mark had no idea that this person would not be ashamed at all. When the new students find out about him, here he is telling him to go like a fly. Out of anger, Mark's face turned red. He raised his head and said with the pride of a teacher, "You have broken the school record by getting 0 marks. Aren't you ashamed at all?" "Shame? Why should I be ashamed? You yourself said that I have broken the record, and now I have become a celebrity. All the new students already know me. But what about you? Who knows you?" David pointed at him like a liar and said, "How many marks did you get? Do they all know you? Did these people know you before coming to school? If you have not fed them, then they might not even consider you their teacher. Even though you are a teacher, you are unknown to them. After all, what are you proud of? Why are you so proud? What? If someone else gets 0 marks, then he should not even raise his head. He should stop going out of fear that someone might insult him on the road. But this person is of a completely strange kind. On the contrary, he is getting happy and proudly telling everyone about 0 marks. He is telling me why I did not get 0 marks. Mark got angry. He is really shameless. After all, the number is 0. What is the joy of getting 0 marks? What is the pride? The students standing behind him started looking at each other. No one understood what to do. What about his reputation? What about his name? This teacher is so shameless, shameless, shameful. What a joke. The world from which he has come, people do everything to become famous. To become famous, people are ready to do anything. Fake news, useless movies, and God knows what else. They have no shame. Getting 0 marks in the exam is nothing compared to those things. Mark shouted angrily. The most important thing for a teacher is to teach the students. I will not waste my time by arguing with you. When you find a student, we will talk. Then we will see whose students are more proficient in martial arts. Saying this, Mark turned around and left. Suddenly, a man and a girl were talking to each other. That teacher is not bad. His temperament is also good. A frightened girl's voice came, but her voice was hesitant. Madam, listen to me. Before leaving for here, sir told me to take you to Mr. Johnson. But you don't want to go. You left me outside. You left everyone and listened to that teacher. What is the reason behind this? She said, You.